There's enough experience in the team.
Okay, right, well, we'll find out shortly. We've an FA Cup winners-only policy in the studio tonight. And I don't know who's making that noise, but so Alan Shearer is on the commentary gantry alongside Steve Bauer. Alan, it's toasty in this studio. It's a bit noisy as well. I don't know if someone is sending something on someone's phone. I think it's a joke. I don't know whether you heard it at home. But how's it on the gantry? A bit chilly?
Yeah, it's very cold. My ears are cold, so yours will be freezing up here, Gary.
What do you see in this game tonight, Alan? How do you see it going?
Well, Wolves will feel very hard done by because they felt they scored a legitimate goal and they should have been through to the next round. They'll want to try and rectify that tonight. He's put a similar team out to that game, a couple of changes from that first game. So they'll be confident. They'll go at Liverpool. They know that even though Liverpool have changed their team around, confidence in the football club at Liverpool is not great. So I think Wolves will go after them.
Are you surprised at the changes Klopp's made, Alan, as well as Danny?
Yeah, I am. I'm really surprised because as a player, you want to put things right. They had a terrible game at the weekend. Those players that played will know that. They would have wanted to get out this evening and change that. But he's changed it. He's put some youngsters in there. It's a chance. He needed some energy. And they've got to bring energy to this team and to that football club because that's the one thing they've been missing, certainly at the weekend anyway.
OK, Alan, keep warm up there as much as you can. Let's hear from both managers who've been talking to Kelly Summers.
Better chance to win it, and that's why we did it.
Let's start with Wolves and Lopetegui. He's come in. He's clearly made a difference already. They're out the bottom three. They've won a couple of games. They're going well, and they had a good performance at Anfield as well. Is this a bounce, or can you see progress?
Well, I mean, you like to think you can see progress. I mean, consider the last manager won 2 out of 22, and he's already won 2 out of 4. But he's playing a lot more attacking. You think about, under Nunes, the reason why Nunes left because he didn't play attacking football. But this man's come to life for him. I think Podence has been absolutely outstanding for him since he's come in. And, as a manager myself, you hope when you go into a new club, you do get a new bounce back, new ideas, new different standards. And it seems to be working at the moment.
Will you stop making those noises, Danny?
It's not me.
It's definitely.
They've been more attacking Wolves, actually. They have. They've taken more risks. I mean, the jury's still out a little bit because they were a bit lucky at Everton. Leon Bailey missed the last-minute chance at Villa. And they did lose to Forest in the League Cup. So.
I mean, he's managed some big clubs, this guy. Obviously, he had the old scandal around when he was at the Spanish manager. He announced that he was going to Real Madrid. And since then, it's not been quite as successful, but he's obviously Europa League he won with.
I think he's very single-minded in what he wants.
Yeah.
He's not going to deviate. He's experienced enough to know, look, he's not going to be swayed by the odd bad result. He's going to stay focused on what he wants.
And I think it's quite fortunate in a way for Wolves because they actually went for Michael Beale. And I went for Lopetegui first.
Yeah.
Because of personal reasons, he didn't take the job. And actually went for Michael Beale. Yeah. He actually turned it down. So it's kind of fell in Wolves' lap, to be honest.
You came in at Reading, didn't you? You kept them up last season, did a brilliant job there. How difficult is it to keep that going and build on momentum as a manager?
Well, I think it's tough because, especially with us, we got an embargo at our club, so it's hard to build and hard to bring in other players. But if you look at Lopetegui's done, he's brought in some really good top-class players. They're playing, as Danny Murphy said, they're playing some really good attacking football. And it's always hard to keep doing it year after year after year, as we're seeing with Liverpool at the moment. It's hard to keep doing it.
As for Liverpool, what's missing this season, Danny?
I think the beginning of the season there was some complacency set in. A lot of the players haven't had any competition for their places for a long time. I think they were tired a little bit from the season before, played in every game available the season before. Mental disappointment of missing out on Champions League and the League to City. And then I think you lose some confidence when you lose games. Top players lose confidence. And I think there's been too many different team selections. I think this is the 13th or 14th different back four we're seeing tonight.
Well, when you were at Manchester United, you were there. There were serial winners, weren't they? How difficult is it, and what is the secret to keeping that consistency at that high level?
I think it's a case of just staying hungry. I think it is keeping hungry. You want to, once you won one, you want to keep winning one. You love the feeling of winning it, winning the Champions League, winning the league, winning the FA Cup, those type of things. And you've got to have the manager to keep you hungry. But Danny Murphy's right. A lot of these players have been here for a long, long time, 4 or 5 years. They're pressed and pressed. They've had 3 battles with Manchester City in the Premier League, which has been tough for them. And they've got some major injuries also.
Yeah.
No time to panic, though. I mean, what he's done at this club is amazing, Jurgen Klopp. There was going to be a dip and a bad spell. I mean, I think as well sometimes, do you think some of the players who've been here a long time, do you think the same voice? Are you a believer in that you can have the same voice for too long?
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, he was there for 20 years.
No, but what I mean is his turnover of players. Some big
He also
players,
he also switched his number 2 quite consistently.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think with Sir Alex,
And
I think
captains.
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to. I think when I left in 95, 96, you know, people were going mad because it's me, Mark Hughes,
Yeah.
Kanchelskis, you know, but you have to keep making that transition as the seasons go on, and I don't think we've done that with Liverpool at this moment of time.
Brighton in the next round, who's going to win this one and play them?
All right, listen, I think Liverpool need to win it. I think, you know, they've not won in 3, and as much as the team they've put out, it's about building blocks and building confidence, and they've got to go to Chelsea on Sunday, so they need to win it tonight.
If either of these are going to struggle at Brighton the way they play.
Okay, well, let's hope we have as much fun as whoever it was behind that tree. The teams are in the tunnel. Let's join your commentators, Alan Shearer and Steve Power.
Gary, thank you. Evening, everyone.